Hello Scorpio, great to have you here. My name is Shauna. Today's reading is a general love forecast for November 2025. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Scorpio. Hello there, Scorpios. Welcome to your weekly reading. Actually, this is not so much a weekly reading. It's more of a lot of things that I need to take care of. So I won't be able to do your weekly reading, and that's why we're condensing the 2 weeks. I hope the reading resonates. I hope it is helpful for you. And without further ado, let's go into your reading. Now, when I was shuffling out the cards, I saw a very interesting image. First of all, there's a sun that's about to set in the background. So it's like, within an hour, 2 hours of setting. So it's like the day is almost over. And then I see a tree, and then I see a kind of like a swing set hooked to a tree. And then there's a bird, and the bird is really, really beautiful. It looks like a bird from a fairy tale. Like it doesn't even exist in real life. It has a very long, beautiful tail, and it's like blue and green. And I see speckles of orange in there too. So it almost looks like a peacock, but it's definitely not a peacock. And the bird has plumage. It has really beautiful feathers. And so it knows that the day is about to end, and it knows that that it needs to get to, a place of refuge, mainly because at night, that's when the predators come out, that's when it's cold, so it needs to find refuge. And so it tries to fly, so the bird is perched on the swing set, and it's trying to fly up into the sky, possibly into another tree, and it's weighed down by its tail. Okay, the tail is very long. It looks almost like the tail of a peacock. It's very long. And so it falls into the ground, and then it tries to get back on the swing and tries to take off again, and then falls into the ground and then tries to get on the swing. And I see this recurring. And so in the background, the sun is setting. So when I got this message for you, I almost feel like there is a major start that you're trying to initiate in your life. And I feel like you kind of need to get a little bit of a running start before you can soar and you can really, really take off. So it feels like there needs to be a lot of legwork to be done. Having a running start, and I feel it's almost like distancing yourself from a situation in order to succeed. So that could also mean, physically distancing yourself from a situation in order for you to focus and hone in your energy on other things. And I'm also sensing there's an element here about doing the same things over and over and over and over again and expecting different results. And also I'm sensing that, the day is ending. Something is completing in your life, or it's almost like inevitable. It's going to be done. It's going to be completed, and I feel like you are aware of it, and you're ready to jump onto new things. But once again, your tail is really weighing you down. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from that image. It's a really beautiful bird. So first of all, let's talk about the spread, because we do have, once again, the energy of the energy of the past that is still very much stuck to us. Hence the long tail, like the tailwind or the whatever that has been, on your mind, heavily weighing you down. And I feel almost like it seems to me more like a way of doing things that, for whatever reason, we were taught to do, beliefs and ideologies that we kind of grew up with. And it's safe, it's familiar, we cling on to it, and it has served us throughout our lives. And, it was never brought up for questioning. It's almost like you took it at face value. You never questioned it, you never doubted it. And it has served you well. And at this point in your life where you are trying to initiate change, where you're kind of forced to creatively problem solve, and you're kind of forced to think outside the box, a little bit, think outside the box, look at problems through a new lens, look at a situation through a fresh pair of eyes so that you can see the situation in a different light. But because of all of these, things from the past, ideologies, belief systems, ways of doing that are really, really hindering your ability to think outside the box. And I almost get this element about somebody um, who's very indoctrinated. Okay, and I get that, funnily enough, with this justice card. This is like rules, regulations, policies, not wanting to upset anybody in your environment, wanting to maintain that status quo, the harmony and the balance in a situation. And we're trying to, as well, trying to appease other, trying to blend in, trying to not stick out like a sore thumb, and trying to, as well, follow rules and regulations and beliefs and ideologies that might be passed down, that might be told to us, this is the way we do things, when in fact they don't really serve their purpose in the here and now, or they're not the most efficient way to do things. So I definitely feel some of you, there's a huge thing here about wanting a lot of changes in your life, wanting to, start out and break out and be your own person. But then I also feel like there are constraints. And I feel like it boils down to the way that you are doing things. And it boils down to the ideas and the ideologies that you prescribe to, which are, they're all right and good, but I definitely feel they kind of hold you back, and the universe is kind of telling you to explore new avenues, explore new routes, look at things through a different framework, or look at things through a different lens, and you're going to be able to find your answer, or you're going to be able to figure out how to initiate something or start something brand new and have it succeed this time around. Okay, so that's the first thing. um, I have the Fool in the reverse, and this corroborates the same theme earlier about doing the same things over and over and over again, um, and expecting different results. Okay, if at first we don't succeed, we try again. That is a very, I feel like that's a very honorable thing to do, not to give up, being very fixated on something and wanting a specific outcome. But at the same time, we kind of have to look at, why didn't it work that first time? What did I do wrong? What did I not consider? What circumstance did I not factor in? And I feel like you have your mind made up about a very specific situation, and it's hard for you to see outside of it. It could very well be, it's not that, you guys are very, very, very understanding and very considerate. But I also feel like once you have somebody pegged, once you have somebody kind of once you believe certain things about somebody, it's really hard for you to see them in a different light. And likewise, once you have a problem, you've identified a problem, it's really hard for you to attribute, this problem is caused by this one factor. It's hard for you to attribute that there could be other factors that affect the same problem. So I'm definitely seeing here a situation in your life that you're trying to resolve, and a situation in your life that you feel, once this is out of the picture, I'm going to have a clean slate, I'm going to have a brand new start. And I'm also sensing that, you're fixated on trying to fix it, and you're like, this has to be the problem. If I fix this one thing, everything's going to flow smoothly. And it's pretty much telling you that, broaden your thinking a little bit. Look at a situation a little bit more holistically, and being able to be creative and think about hypotheticals. Maybe it's not this, maybe it's something else. If it were something else, what can I do to fix it? And then go from there. Learning from mistakes. Okay, not repeating the same mistakes, learning from mistakes, and especially thinking outside the box. I feel all of these messages are in particular related to your work, especially for those of you who are self-employed and you're dealing with a lot of people that are coming and going in your life. So if you're self-employed and you're hiring people, you're hiring contractors, you're hiring employees, you're trying to get clients, I feel like there needs to be a better, like a different way for you to market yourself. There needs to be a niche that you can tap into, like a specific demographics, a specific client base that you might have overlooked, and you're tapping into one segment of the client base while not so much ignoring, but more like isolating others. And as a result of it, I feel like, the business situation, I don't see financial difficulties, but I feel it's almost like allowing of doing things, okay? So expanding your services, expanding the services that you have to offer. I feel like some marketing might be required. So this could be online advertisement. This could be an ad. This could be, um, paying somebody to publish you on a magazine, for example, so that you can publicize your business, or even getting business cards so that you can pass them out. And social media is very, very big nowadays, especially with Yelp reviews. So posting a business and going from there, posting a business online and going from there, because that will allow you to generate a lot of it will allow you to have the visibility that you need. And many of you, when you do something, you do it very, very, very well. So I don't feel like you're going to be suffering from getting bad reviews because you are the master of your craft. Scorpio people are very good at what they do. If they spend their life doing something, they're experts at it. And so expanding in through that platform, I feel is really, really going to help you because you're going to get very positive reviews. Okay. I'm also seeing for some of you, there might be some financial situation in the past, like financial debt, crawling out of financial debt, and I feel like wage garnishment in order to pay off some things, or even setting aside money that you earn in order to pay back past debt, something past due, something legality related. And I feel like, if you clear up the baggage, if you don't let it weigh you down, if you clear it up so that you can kind of sever ties with the past, that can allow you to have a lot more opportunities in your life. So for some of you, I feel like you're well on your way to fix your credit. You're well on your way to establish your financial foundation. You might be somebody who's not very savvy when it comes to financial planning, which I feel is, it could be very few of you. Okay, most Scorpio people have a pretty firm grip on their financial situation. You definitely know how to live within your means, but I feel like for those of you who are just not financially savvy, like you don't care, you work because you enjoy the work and you don't really care much about financial planning, saving for retirement, saving up for a rainy day, then I feel like there's some situation coming into, and I feel like it could just be, when we round out the year, or it could just consulting people when it comes to financial investment. The Nine of Pentacles here could be business owner or somebody who's letting their assets grow for them. Okay, so you're looking at a financial manager, you're looking at into investment opportunities, and I feel like somebody's coming in and they're telling you, I have this really good business, do you want to go on, get on board with me and work alongside me, or do you want to, run it with me? And then I'm also sensing as well, they're asking you, like, I have a really good business opportunity, you can buy in right now while it's new, do you want to get on board? And I definitely feel many of you have this opportunity and you are very, very fearful about moving ahead and taking that big risk. Okay, so there's something risky in here, but I feel like it's going to have really great returns. It's going to yield good returns, and I feel like you're dealing with people who are offering you this insider information because They want to assist you because they want to help you. And I feel like they have done their preliminary research and they know what they're talking about. So, just make sure whatever you hear for the next 2 weeks, I feel like it's going to be very, very important. You could just, haphazardly hear it through somebody random, like random strangers on the street. You could be at the store, lining up for, checkout at a grocery store, and you're eavesdropping, like just inadvertently eavesdropping, or just hearing casual conversation and somebody's telling you, oh, this stock is really, really hot right now, so you might want to buy in. So there are messages coming through for you to push you in the right direction when it comes to financial investments, when it comes to your money, when it comes to fixing your credit, when it comes to, some type of income generating activity that you can get yourself involved in. It has been vetted. And I feel like these things that you're hearing, they're not just, they're not accidental, okay? So keep your eyes open, keep your eyes peeled, keep your ears peeled, and make sure that you listen to the going-ons around you. I see some of you meeting with a lot of new employees. So I don't know if you're in a capacity where you are training them. They're trying to please you. That's what it feels like to me. Like they're trying to please you. I see some of you as well signing a lot of legal documents, okay? Perusing through a lot of legal documents, doing a lot of research, and they're saying the laws are made to be broken. That's what it feels like to me. So I don't know if you're dealing with people in a legal manner, or you're trying to find loopholes in laws in order to finding loopholes in order to, some of you could be lawyers, for example, or you work in the legal profession and you're trying to find legal loopholes, or you're trying to defend something legally, or you're trying to unravel a legal argument, or you're trying to read the fine print in some type of a legal arrangement, okay? So those are the things that I'm seeing coming into the picture. I definitely see new beginnings are in store for you. We do have the Judgment card here, next to the Fool in the reverse. The Judgment card is coming through, but the Fool is in the reverse, which basically means be okay with taking a big risk. Be a little bit riskier the next 2 weeks. Of course, do your preliminary research, but I also feel like there is a situation weighing you down, and I feel like you have to kind of creatively problem solve and get yourself out of it, or you might need to take this big leap of faith in order not to feel weighed down, okay? On the love front, you are dealing with somebody who is very stubborn. They are very independent. So this is the person that you're dealing with, Nine of Pentacles. Very independent, quite stubborn. This is somebody who enjoys their own company. They don't really need other people. They don't need people to take care of them. They're very self-sufficient. They've got a place. They're, just very financially stable. And what I feel is this person's independence can be seen as a little bit of a threat to you. So in whatever capacity that comes up, their stubbornness or their independence is, I feel, honestly, that you have somebody pegged the wrong way. That's what it feels like to me. And like I mentioned before, once you have your, your opinions formed about a specific topic or a specific person, you don't change, okay? Like, once you label somebody, you don't change the labels. Even if they do other things, you don't really change your mind or your opinions about a person. And I feel like you have somebody pegged the wrong way. That's what it feels like to me. This person is financially stable. They're very independent. They can be stubborn. But you have no idea to what extent they can be very independent, where they don't need anybody. They're so stubborn that they don't change their ways. And so there might be a lot of ideological clashes between the two of you. And they're so just, they keep to themselves. They're happy and content. And I feel in a way, if this is like a love interest, and I feel for many of you, you're very attracted to this person. There's something about them. And I feel like it has to do with that sense of self-sufficiency, that sense of confidence that really, really draws you in, and you're very passionate about this person. And I feel like there's definitely communication between you and this person. And I also sense that this is somebody who is very slow moving, okay? And it's almost like, if you want me, come and get me. So it's like, if you want me, come and get me. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not going to budge. If you show me your intentions and if you want to be with me, you're going to come to where I am. It's somebody who is that stubborn. And once again, they don't need other people. So they're going to be very, very slow to act. They're also not going to, it's like they're not easily swept off their feet. They're very practical. They're not easily charmed. They're not easily impressed because they're very impressive. And so I feel like, all those cheesy pickup lines will not work on this person. Telling them, oh, you're very beautiful, that's not going to work on this person. So I feel like your strategy has to change if you are trying to court this person or if you're trying to get this person to notice you. Okay, so I definitely feel somebody's being blocked when it comes to their efforts. And I see here a fire sign, fire energy, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. And then I also see an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. So I have the Prince of Wands as well as the Queen of Swords. This is someone who's excitedly coming in to see you. And they know they're not on your caliber. They know they're not on your caliber. Okay, so they really are very attracted to you. They know they're not on that level yet. And I feel like, they're very passionate about you. I mean, the way that they're coming in, it's like charging full speed ahead, wanting to possess you. And this is somebody that you're attracted to, but you also want something a little bit more long lasting. You want somebody that is a little bit more tame. And so I feel almost like you might not trust this person. They have a good heart. They're in their upright position. They're very adventurous. They're very funny, good sense of humor, doesn't take offense, doesn't get defensive. And, but I feel it's almost like a conquest. Okay. It's almost like somebody, and this can be vice versa. I feel this energy about wanting something because it poses as a challenge to us. Wanting something because the other person is almost out of reach and unattainable. And the fantasy of possessing and really owning this entity or this person is so attractive to you or to somebody whoever's dealing with this, that it's hard for you to shake the fantasy from your mind. And on top of that, I do have another person as well where there is zero communication. And this was somebody that you really, really, really cared about, okay? You might have reached out, you might have initiated some type of a contact. And I feel like, you were possibly married to this person, engaged to this person, share space with this person, because this is the Ten of Cups. This is usually like a family card. And it indicates to me, somebody that is quite significant to us. And then I have an air sign. This could be Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And it could be, for some of you, a family member, and then for others, a lover, somebody that you were married to, involved with, lived together, share space with, shared a significant, what I feel is you share significant milestones with this person. And for whatever reason, there is lack of communication, and I almost feel like there's blockages. There's some blockages here. So that's what I'm feeling. I feel almost like if you want this situation to work, or if you want this person to, initiate contact, we kind of have to let go of emotional baggage, okay? And I honestly feel like if you want things to start in your life, you might physically have to let this person go from their life. Their influence is really heavy. Um, and, I apologize for cross watchers. It's not that the person is heavy. Their influence in your life, and especially if this is somebody from the past, their influence on your life is really weighing you down. It's like that tail, okay? That tail on the bird. The tail indicates things from the past, things that are behind us. We're no longer looking at it. We're no longer fixated on it. We don't even need it. And yet the tail is so long, the history is so long that is really weighing you down in your effort to soar and fly and explore new territory and find a safe passage for yourself as the sun sets in the sky. That's what it feels like. There's this imagery with the sun setting. It's almost like I'm getting older. Life is moving and things are catching up to me. I need to move on. I need to, make quick decisions. I need to find a place of safety. And for whatever reason, things from your past are really, really weighing you down. And you need to shed this area of your life in order for you to move forward, have new beginnings, and try something new. So I feel like it is a person. And for some of you, I do see the air sign that you are sharing space with or have shared space with. And you need to shed this. You need to let it go. You are trying to soar and fly, and you have so many positive things coming into the picture for you. And yet, for whatever reason, you're clinging on to the situation, and it's really hindering your love life, it's hindering your marriage, it's hindering other things in your life. Okay? So, time to soar and time to kind of leave this in the past. Your financial situation is really going to start to pick up, okay? And you could be, self-employed, or you could be working for other people. I feel like finances is at a point where you are fixing things, fixing your financial situation. You're becoming a lot more savvy. You're learning how to manage things, and you're getting sage advice on how to do this the right way, how to do this properly. Saving up for a rainy day, being able to be in a situation where you don't have to make ends meet anymore. You have the financial freedom, okay? What I'm also seeing as well, and Scorpios, you guys are very, very loyal, and especially like with family members and with people that you share a long history with, okay? Hence that long tail. I keep going back to that long tail because it indicates to me, something somebody or a situation that you've had a long history with. And the universe is really telling you to examine a situation and try to look at who's really holding us down, who's really holding us back, who's really